I don't think they would. I mean, unless the Dolphins already gave up half their draft anyway, and Arians already says it has to be like what 4 or 5 first rounders.
You're not trading one. They're not trading Brady because everybody that came back to Tampa
came back for Brady.
For Brady, so that I'm not entertaining it. He's not going to Miami. If to Tampa Bay trade Tom Brady, the whole organization is going under because they lose. Because that's stupid. You're trying to win Super Bowls. Who gives you the best chance? Nobody cares. See, I think, and that's another thing too, where a lot of people starting to realize nobody cares about next year or the year after that. It's about right now because the New Orleans Saints proved that they were 80 million over the cap, and now they have 20 million under the cap. So look, money's not an issue.
I gotta get whatever financial advisor they have because my finances are not that bad, and I'm sure I could go ahead and be a millionaire by the time I'm done without having to work any extra.
Yeah. So again, so everybody's biggest thing now is I want to win now. Let's win now, not next year. There's not hope. Oh well, we got these draft picks and this and that. No, because it's a small window.
All right, let's move to Deshaun because obviously he finally found a home. Wouldn't be a home I would have picked. I'll be honest with you. I would have said move me to Denver, move me to Miami. Definitely now move me to Miami. Now I got Tyreek Hill I can throw to. Go ahead, move me to Miami. But apparently Cleveland is the spot. And these new allegations that are coming out that just came out could impact his playing there now. So you give up a whole boatload to get Deshaun. And Baker's crying out like a little biatch on social media, like, thank you, Cleveland. It was fun, and I'm still with the team, but I don't think I'm going to be with the team much longer because Deshaun's coming in, man. He's stealing my room. He's going to put me on the couch and the sofa bed now. I mean, just babyish talk for Baker Mayfield, and I haven't checked, but has he found a team yet? Is he still with Cleveland? Has they released him?
No, he's with Cleveland.
He's still with Cleveland.
They're not going to release him.
I wouldn't because now they don't know what's happening with Deshaun.
He's still Deshaun's fine. The NFL is probably, NFL is all they're going to do is they're going to give him a 6 to 8 game suspension, and then he'll be back. Those touchdowns, and everybody's going to forget about it.
They're going to go ahead and give him the Brady treatment, and he's going to come back with a vengeance.
So the thing about the whole situation, he's got to go. He still has to go to civil court or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, what happens with that? Either you don't really go to court, you just pay everybody off. It's a conversation where you just say, "Hey, look, we can go to court, and I can extend this court over and over, and you have to continue to pay them, and then you basically gonna run out of money." Or you can get your money now, and then we just say, "Hey, we're good," and you just sign this little thing. So I think that's the whole situation with that because now they said he wasn't guilty, so it's a done deal.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens on that one, but I know, Deshaun's going to come off 1 year of rust, at least 1 year of rust, and he's going to have to find his legs now in Cleveland. Doesn't have the firepower that they had in the beginning with OBJ, but then again, they don't have the system really. So it's kind of like I'm wondering, again, does this make sense? Does Deshaun going to Cleveland make sense?
Yes, because people got to realize you got to have a quarterback to win the Super Bowl, and you can say what you want. What's the name? Wasn't it?
No, apparently not.
He wasn't.
He wasn't. I mean, he was living at the stadium, trying to sell off other teammates' shoulder pads during the yard sale. It's like, listen, man, that's not a good teammate. When you go ahead and sell, other teammates' stuff, man, in a yard sale, while you're selling insurance, man, that's not good.
Yeah,
that's not good.
So I mean, and that's the thing that you take Deshaun. Deshaun made the playoffs with not much.
True.
And not much. So when Hopkins left, they still made the playoffs. So now you give him a running game, which they have.
Yep.
He has a running game. you got Amari Cooper. That's still a good receiver.
When he's healthy.
You could build like it's still that's true. And the defense is not bad. So you at least know Deshaun, he's gonna make the plays. If anything, not playing a year might have helped Deshaun because now his body fully healed, and you could probably I don't know what he was doing, but he was working out. He's probably was strengthening his muscles, and the ligaments and everything in his arm. So he probably might be 20 times better than what he is because he's fresh.
Yeah, he's definitely healthy. He had plenty of time to whatever ills that he had. They definitely should have been repaired by then.
So he'll come in April. He'll probably come in with the mini cap with the receivers, and then and throw
start to get communication going, starting to get some vibe going, elbow rubbing going.
He probably, matter of fact, he's probably right now with the receivers he's in Cleveland and he's working on stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So,
yeah,
he's going to take all the time he can to go ahead and make these relationships up there, especially with Amari. He's probably talking as his listen, man. I really need you. These other guys suck. Please don't get injured. Please.
But he gives you that threat.
Yeah, of course.
Threat. It gives you because if you load the box down with the offense, you could actually run. You can run some read option.
Here's the thing. Here's the beautiful part that many people in Cleveland don't realize, or if they do realize, they're not making much noise about it. Deshaun can throw the ball.
You can.
Oh, Baker can throw he can throw the ball to the other team. He can throw the ball 40 yards downfield and miss the guy by like 10 yards. That's fine. But Deshaun is very comparable to Russell Wilson, just a younger version. That guy can drop dimes in a bucket. He can.
So, and the whole thing about Baker, they'll trade him because somebody's gonna need a quarterback.
Anthony continues on. He made a comment. You think the Browns keep Baker to start the season, knowing that if the NFL does suspend Deshaun, well, over these new allegations. Like I said, I don't know what I know. The old allegations, they cleared them off. It's like, okay, listen, you're done. Don't worry about it. We're not going to suspend you. But now all this new crap is coming out. I don't know if it's any different or if it's just an extension of it.
The NFL is going to suspend him. They're going to give him 5. They're going to give him 6 to 8 games, regardless.
Yeah,
we already know that's going to happen. Now,
it's still Baker's team for 6 or 8 games then.
But I think Baker's going to whine and cry and pout, and they probably he'll probably collect his check, but he won't touch the field.
He already is whining and pouting, and they haven't released him.
That's what I'm saying. So they're not going to release him because you won't release him because now by you releasing him, that means that's dead money. So you don't want the dead money for that. So if anything, you would trade him. He'll get traded for a 4th, maybe a 5th round draft pick. And it's one of those things where, like you said, you go look, and because it's crazy how they're gonna wait to see how after the draft, see how people struggling in training camp, and then be like, "Hey, here they're gonna dangle him out. I got Baker here. I can have him."
You like me some Baker? How do you like him living in your stadium there, shooting commercials? You like that? You like that? I kind of like to see what happens when that all goes down. What is it, Progressive that he works for now, or that's for? Yeah, I like to see Progressive put him in a U-Haul truck and bring him to whatever stadium he goes to next and moving in there. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so those are 2 pretty big moves there. Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland. You got Tyreek Hill going to Miami. Let's talk Russell Wilson. We knew he was getting moved. He was getting moved eventually. He finally did, going to Denver. Denver picking him up. Does this make Denver a viable threat in the West and or the AFC?
No.
All right. Tell me why.
No. Because you have an injury-prone receiving core. They can't stay healthy. You say what you want. Run game's good. O-line's decent. And you don't have a pass rush on defense. You need an inside linebacker to stop the run. Like those are the things. You can't stop anybody. You watch Pat Mahomes running around crazy against Denver. But I truly, truly don't believe. Everybody thinks it. And then when you look at Russell Wilson is a deep. He's a bomber.
Oh yeah.
Now, how is he going to fit with these guys? Because I don't know. I mean, a couple of them can run routes, but I think all that plays in the part. You don't have a tight end anymore. You traded your tight end away also with Russell for Russell. So they have a lot on offense that they need to.
So they don't have a tight end right now?
No, well, it's not the starting tight end.
Well, yeah. Noah Fant went to Seattle. So, but yeah, I'm just surprised that did they overextend themselves when they got Russell?
No, because it goes back to what we said from the beginning. If you ain't got a quarterback, your chances of winning the Super Bowl is pointless. You got to have a quarterback. Hence the fact why they're getting paid billions of dollars right now. The market is crazy. So I think what people realize, you getting Russell, I don't think Russell's the Russell that everybody expects that you think you're going to see. Because again, when Russell was good and when they won a Super Bowl, he had a dominant defense.
Yeah. Yeah, so Denver has to get back to those ways. I'm taking a look at the tight ends. Andrew Beck, Sean Bayer, Albert Okanzenjiwan, or whatever the hell his name is. They don't have much of a tight end. I mean, and again, I'm taking a look at the receivers there. You got Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton that stick out. Everybody else is like second or third string, really. I mean, just backups. And even running backs, Mike Boone, Demara Crockett, and Javonte Williams. I don't see a whole lot of running backs either.
So Williams is good, but I just really, really, really just believe that.
Anyway, so we'll go ahead and delete that one. Apologize for that. But I mean, but again, the supporting cast around Russell isn't as good as he would have had in Seattle. So I guess we're going to see if Russell makes these other players great or good, or are they going to bring him down? And is it true that Russell can't really carry everybody? So
I don't think he can. I mean, he never did. When have you seen him do it? And again, if we're talking about, but
he can make plays happen. That's the thing. He's able to make plays happen, but he has to have the supporting cast.
But if you're talking about winning a Super Bowl, no. Now they have a great chance to make the playoffs, of course. I mean, the AFC is very, very. I mean, it's the West. The AFC West is like the NFC West. They probably have 3 teams that go out this year.
Right.
And they did. I mean,
well, we'll see. We'll see.
I know who's not gonna make the playoffs, but I'm gonna leave. I ain't gonna say no names.
You really think the Vegas Raiders aren't going to go ahead and make the playoffs, or at least have I mean, listen, Josh McDaniels coming in, man. I mean, I don't know, man. You never know. You never know. Raiders may
No. I think the Raiders will make the playoffs. I wasn't even talking about the AFC West. We gotta go back over there. Go back east. Yeah, but that's another story for another day.
Listen, I know they ain't doing anything, so I'll almost agree with you on that one.
Josh turned down the coach job, and he turned down another job. Then all of a sudden, he took the Raiders job.
Mm-hmm.
He looked around and said, "I don't like how things working around here." But that's another story. We'll carry down another.
Yeah, we'll dig in that when you listen. Let's wait till after the draft. Let's wait until practice comes around.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm be done with it. He's acting like he has a Tom Brady in the quarterback position, and I say this because it's a fact of the matter. People went to New England not because of Bill. They went to play with Tom Brady.
Yep.
Look at Fournette. Fournette went up there to visit, but he was like, "Oh no, it ain't the same." I'm just so he's still playing like that, and he's still coaching, like he's maneuvering around just like that. And you're gonna say, "Well, we'll wait till the draft to get the guys." Okay.
Yeah, well, we know how good we are in the draft.
Because you can't draft a receiver. We already know that. So y'all suck at drafting a receiver. But anyway, come on. I just saw the shirt.
You had to go ahead and throw that dart right there in my heart. That just okay. I'm going to save my piece. Ram. And that's it. We're done with it.
Yeah, you can't draft the receivers. Y'all terrible.
We suck at receivers. I know.
Every time y'all draft one, usually, and then it's like y'all ain't trying to get none in the free agent like you usually do. But okay.
We got no freaking money. That's the thing. We need to get that. We need to get the New Orleans Saints financial advisor over here.
Well,
that's what we need to do.
Y'all spent $500 million.
All right, let's move on now. Let's move on. So Malcolm Butler is one of the free agents they did bring in, apparently to replace J.C. Jackson, because we all know J.C. Jackson got buco bucks.
He don't fit.
I'm just saying that's who they brought in to be the new number one guy. So
Butler is a slot corner. Matter of fact, the last time he played in New England, if he would have played that game, I would have won because the slot receiver is the one that was killing in the Super Bowl. But that's another story for another day. Also, he's a slot corner. He knows the system. I take that back. I don't know if he does know the system because
it's probably changed.
We don't know who the DC is or whoever.
There is no DC. What are you talking about? It's DC by committee. When you're talking about DC, it's District of Columbia. There ain't no DC here. He's talking about. There's no OC. There's no C except for head coach. That's it. And I think he's wearing all three hats.
And that's good because he's the greatest of all time.
He ain't gonna be that great. He can't go ahead and wear the GM hat, the head coach hat, the OC hat, the DC hat, probably the special teams hat too. I mean, he ain't that good. I'm sorry. Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time. Yes, statistically, but no, when you don't have Tom Brady, apparently your team goes south. And apparently so do the coordinators. So yeah, I mean, looking at right now, Malcolm Butler right there, Jonathan Jones, Jalen Mills, Sean Wade, Joanne Williams. I'm not seeing a whole lot of talent there. I'm seeing a lot of zone that's going to happen this year.
Oh, of course. But one thing about it is getting Butler. It was a cheap deal.
It was. That's why we got him and didn't keep JC.
It was one of those things where it was like, hey, he doesn't have anywhere. No one really wants him anymore. We need a corner. Let's get somebody that we're familiar with. And then guess what? At least the people will be excited because he won a Super Bowl for us. So they wouldn't trip that much.
Yeah. He won a Super Bowl by getting a catch. Yay. Okay, fine. That's great. What have you done since? Oh, you didn't play in the next Super Bowl. Why is that? You won one Super Bowl with being awesome, but you were held out on another Super Bowl. What? And then you signed it with the team again? Really? Anthony's saying rumors saying Gilmore and Matthew are linked to the Raiders. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me, especially Gilmore. Gilmore has played with the Patriots. He knows McDaniels. Well, in the not the same room, but he knows of McDaniels, so probably want to bring him along. That doesn't surprise me. Again, there's a lot of guys out there that are still left without contracts, without deals that eventually they're gonna get signed. But JC goes to the Chargers to find new life over there, and probably in a winning team that's very, very good contender of wild card, maybe even the division if KC slumps like some people think they're going to. So we'll see. Allen Robertson signs with the Rams. Former Bear goes with the Rams to go ahead and give him some depth. They have not signed OBJ yet, but they're talking about it. But a lot of talk, yappity yap, not signing. And then they go ahead and give Woods a trade to Tennessee. So are the Rams replacing Woods with Allen? Or is Allen just coming in? And I mean, is he an upgrade or a downgrade from Woods? Or even a side grade, man? I don't know.
I think he's I don't know because it was two different styles. Woods was the motion guy. So he did all the motion, he did all the crack blocking, he did the jet sweeps. Like he was kind of that guy. And then they kind of went by committee when he got hurt. So But I think he's like he's similar to OBJ. Not as athletic, but he could beat the 1-on-1, which what they needed. Because I mean that's the balance that they have. And hopefully if they get OBJ back, now you're talking about it, you have a nice little three-headed monster.
You kind of had that before with Woods, Cup, and OBJ. Did you not? I mean, you had the same three-headed monster last year. I mean, for half the year, but that was the half of the year
but they never played together because they got OBJ after Woods got hurt.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So Woods going to Tennessee, does that make a lot of sense with Tannehill and Woods going at it?
Oh man,
I'm just thinking Tannehill is not the quarterback you want throwing you the ball because he only throws it like 5-10 times a game.
You got, I mean, the other thing, that's a hard question because he is the second read. So I don't know. Because I guess I don't think it was a good trade. I think it was just a cap release for the Rams and just a dump, which they were just trying to get money to make sure they get OBJ because that's OBJ is better than what's the name. But also, I truly don't believe that him going to Tennessee is not going to make a difference.
Yeah. Do you think it's like a Julio Jones going to Tennessee? He just doesn't really cut it?
Well, it's hard to explain. I don't know because I say that because you're talking about Julio. Think about Julio, man. Julio's good when he's healthy, but he's just so banged up now. And Woods is a good receiver, but he's not. You need help with the scheme that they was running, so he does it. Man, Tannehill. I don't know. You don't know what you're gonna get with Tannehill.
Yeah. So you got, of course, AJ Brown, which I believe you probably mentioned is going to be the first read. Then you got Robert Woods, got like Dez Fitzpatrick, Cody Hollister, and then the list kind of depletes after that. Austin Hooper was brought in to a huge tight end room. Not many good ones, but Ryan Izzo is Tommy Hudson.
And you go back, I think Hooper is going to be the number two guy over Woods. I think he's going to be the third or maybe fourth guy.
So you think Woods is going to drop down to number 4 on the look?
Yeah, because usually if you look at it, somebody like Tannehill, first person he's going to go to is Brown, and then the second, usually all quarterbacks have a tight end, and it's going to be Hooper.
Yeah, I got you. I'm over here taking a look at unrestricted free agents. I'm seeing Chester Rogers over there. That's waiting in the wings. Maybe hasn't signed with anybody yet. Anyway, so we got that again. Rapid fire today here on the Touchdown Crew, talking to all free agents that have gone for the last couple of weeks since we were off last week. Matt Ryan going to Indy. Carson Wentz going to the Commandees. Anybody win in this deal? Does Indy win with getting Matt Ryan? Does Washington win by getting Wentz? Anything here? I mean, are we hearing crickets on both these teams?
No, I think both won.
Both of them won?
I think so. One. Go ahead.
With Indy, actually, let me ask you this: who do you think has the better core that to throw to? Does Indianapolis have the better receiving core as Washington?
Washington.
Okay.
As of now, unless they get somebody in the free agent.
So unless they get somebody in the free agency market, Washington is the head guy. So with Wentz averaging 7-8 passes a game there in Indianapolis, are they going to let him sling the ball?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? They don't trust him. They just hand the ball off to Taylor and that's it.
No. It was the opposite.
Bull, really?
Yes. Taylor averaged, if you go look at it, he probably averaged 21 to 25 carries a game.
But still, though, how many passes does Wentz throw?
In Washington?
Well, in Washington, yeah. Let's talk about that.
He's gonna throw 20 to 25 times. He's gonna do what Taylor. They're not gonna throw the ball that much. They're gonna run it. They're gonna run it, and they're gonna play action, and he's gonna throw it Just enough.
Just enough to go ahead and make it worth it. Does this put Washington again in the depleted NFC East? Does this put Washington up there in contention? Hard questions today there. Coach having a little bit of a hard time there answering. I'm going to say yes, because if you go, Taylor Heineke, did pretty decent for his stature. But now you got Wentz, who is accustomed to winning, knows how to win. I think he can be a better leader. I think coming in there, I think Washington would at least win 10 games with him. And I think that might, depending on how the Cowboys do, that might be just enough. Because the Eagles ain't doing anything. And the Giants definitely aren't doing anything. I think it's going to be between the Cowboys and Commanders.
I don't know. I can't answer that. You know why I can't answer it? Because I got to see.
Because the season hasn't started yet.
No, I really got to see. I have to see the schedules, and I have to also see who's drafting what. Because if you go back and you look, and we're talking about the Giants. Giants' offense will be way, way better than what they was last year. I don't care who you say. I hope
it is, because they weren't that great last year.
It'll be 10 times better because you got an offensive guy that knows what he's doing.
Okay.
Cowboys are down. Eagles have draft picks and money, so they're going to be good. Right. And they made the playoffs, so you got to still give them respect, regardless. Washington, I'm curious because one thing about it was that D-line that was supposed to be so that defense was supposed to be so great. It stuck. It was terrible. So now I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to rebuild it. But other than that, like I said, man, it's the NFC East is whoever wins 8 games, well, you can say 9 games, you're in.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys take a huge step back because they lost a lot offensively.
Yeah, so we're going to see how good Dak really is if everything stays status quo. Like if they go ahead and pick up a bomb in free agency, and that's another thing. We got to take a look and see who's left out there. Like what could be a good fit for these teams.
You got receiver wise, you have I can't think his name. Landry.
Jarvis Landry. Okay.
You have Jarvis Landry. You still have Stephon Gilmore, which we talked about, and Tyrann Matthews. I think they're linked to go to the Raiders. Man, you know who else we have, and you really haven't heard too much about is Miles Jack.
Yeah, it's true. He's out there too.
Yeah, he got cut by the Jaguars.
Wow. So yeah, Miles Jack is definitely out there. That we can definitely talk about him on that one.
So
all right. So let's see here. Let's go receivers. Okay. So who is actually left? Anybody left? They're giving me what's been happened so far. Freeze by position. Give me 1 second. I apologize. No, I apologize for the dead air on this. Okay, here we go. So here are the receivers that we got left. OBJ is tops of the list right now. Devontae Adams, we know, went to Vegas.
OBJ.
Yeah, OBJ is still the top dog. Julio, Emmanuel Sanders, Jarvis Landry is number 4. AJ Green, Cole Beasley, Alan Lazard, Will Fuller, Sammy Watkins, John Ross. It's really there's really not a lot out there. I mean, OBJ, what the rumors are, he's coming back to LA. Julio, there's been zero talk with Julio. I haven't heard anybody interested in Julio. Same thing with Sanders, Landry, nobody's talking about. AJ Green's getting a little bit of buzz, but not from anybody really in contention. Beasley, it's just a lot of like dangling receivers out there. But some of these receivers could sign with a 1-year deal at the minimum, come in there and just completely just blow out the competition. It's just they're waiting for that opportunity. But right now, what you take a look at, OBJ and Julio and Emmanuel Sanders seem like the best going out there. Everything else kind of like is taking a step back. Unless you have no second or third option. And then these guys start looking pretty good. Running backs. Melvin Gordon's still out there. Sony Michel. Alex Collins, David Johnson, Darrell Williams, Ronald Jones was just picked up. He's going to KC. Latavius Murray, Devontae Freeman, and Marlon Mack is on there. Tight ends, Gronk is still out there, but again, what he said on his tweet, he's making Brady sweat, so he'll be back, I'm sure. But after Gronk, it's Jared Cook, Jordan Atkins, Kyle Rudolph, Anthony Fisker, Blake Bell. You get where it's going.
But that's the thing. I mean, and we talked about it, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Running backs and receivers, you're a dime a dozen now. Like, so you'll see, like, you take Juju. Juju got a 1 year, $6-7 million.
Right.
Like, a lot of these guys, you're not getting. You have to put phenomenal numbers to get the money that you think you're going to get. Like Christian Kirk, he put great numbers up because he was the only receiver that was there in Arizona the entire year. Tyreek Hill.
Now he's definitely going to be the only receiver there.
Yes, Tyreek Hill, same way. He put, regardless, he has numbers. I mean, you see the big money guys, they put phenomenal numbers up and they beat the one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, so, it doesn't matter if you put 2 or 3 people on Hill, he's getting the ball some way. Either he's going to beat you over the top or he's going to hit it under and just beat you with speed.
Yeah, so now when you sit there and we look at the receiver core and the running backs that are left over, you're not making a lot. You're going to get I hate when I say a lot.
It's over. You're getting league minimum. You're getting like a year, $4 million. That's it. And most of that's incentive. You're not going to, even the $4 million is probably not all guaranteed.
Yeah, you'll make your $4, $5, $6 million. Like Julio. Think about Julio, he's not gonna play the whole season.
No.
He ain't played the whole season. OBJ won't be back to probably December.
Yeah, that massive knee injury, man. I don't even know if he's going to be 100% either. Like, is he going to be the OBJ of old?
Yeah, the only one that'll make legit good money is probably Landry, because there's 2 things you're going to get out of him. He's going to block, and if the ball's near him, he's going to make the catch.
Yeah. No. So, there's just not a lot of names out there right now. There really aren't. And like you said, the running backs are a dime a dozen. If you can hold on to the ball and actually gain a few yards here and there, you're useful. You can be useful. Like Sony Michel, he's a power back. This guy would make a difference in somebody that doesn't have a running back right now or doesn't have a lead back. He could do it. He did it for New England. Melvin Gordon, same thing. He could do it. But when you go to like Alex Collins, David Johnson, Darrell Williams, Ronald Jones, I was always a supporter of Jones.
But let me ask you this.
In Tampa.
Let me ask you this, Charles. Would you rather give the 2 power backs, I can't think the names you said, or would you rather go get that boy from University of Michigan State?
That's a good question. I don't know the guy from Michigan State. That's the problem.
The one that was running through everybody.
Yeah, okay. You run through everybody in the Big Ten, which is still a formidable force. The Big Ten is still, it's like the NFC North, really, if you want to think about it.
But he's cheap. And he's cheap, and he doesn't have any miles on him.
Well, here's the thing. There's only one team that's going to get him, and there's a lot of teams that need help. So if you're that one team, okay, fine. You have that first round pick. You're going to scoop him up before anybody else does. Where does that leave the other, half dozen teams that need help in the running back position? You're going to have to scoop up one of these people. You're going to have to get the Michelle or the Melvin Gordon, unless there is another unsung hero in the college ranks. But then again, like you mentioned, the draft is a crapshoot. That's why all these teams are just throwing away picks for players that can play now. The biggest thing with this here, this is a free agent list. You don't have to throw picks away. You just have to go ahead and sign them. So, like I said, it's all about what your team needs, what your team wants, and I guess too, if the players want to sign with you, maybe beggars don't have to be choosers. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, so let's go down the list here real quick. I think you want to talk about Jameis Winston with his 2-year deal, staying with the Saints. Obviously, going to get his first real opportunity to quarterback with a team that's kind of hitting turmoil. To be honest with you,
no, they're fine.
All right. So let's go down. We're going to go ahead and try to go down team by team real quick here, and like I said, more rapid fire. I'm going to start with the AFC East. We got Barkley and Keenum. Jameson Crowder signed a 1-year deal with the Bills. You got Isaiah McKenzie is still continuing. O.J. Howard was added. Shaq Lawson signed. The Bills are really loading up. They really are. And, of course, I think their stranglehold in the East is just going to continue. They just got so much depth there. Anybody you want to bring up real quickly, or do you want to move to next?
2 people. Jameson Crowder. That was a 1-year deal worth $4 million.
Yep.
That's pretty much, hey, I was with the Jets. I got a lot of catches, but now I'm with a quarterback. So I know for a fact I'm the number 2 guy. So I will get a lot of catches and touchdowns. Also, O.J. Howard was a good pickup. That'll help with the run game because now you can do 2 tight end sets with 2 receivers because that's pretty much all you got. You don't have a third receiver. So you can mix it up with that. Von Miller was excellent, but now you have someone to teach these young guys how to pass rush, how to do things. I think those 2 were the best pickups that you could have. Because Von Miller, he's not going to give you 80, 60, 70 snaps.
And you're paying this guy $20 million a year now. $51 million guarantee over 6 years. And for the first 4, I guess it's a bargain deal. The first 4 years, it says $17.5 million through the first 4 years.
Yeah, you teach him to teach the other guy. And one thing, shout out to the Buffalo Bills. They love them Texas boys. I don't know why we go up there, but God, dog, because you look at the D line, they got 3 guys from Texas. So shout out to them, man.
All right, let's go to the Fish. They know that they did sign Teddy Bridgewater. Are they? It's only a 1-year deal, but are they expecting Teddy and Tua to go at it?
No, they're expecting Tua to be hurt, and now you have Teddy because Tua hasn't had. I don't even think Tua played a full season yet, and I could be wrong. I don't even think he played last year a full season. So at least for that, it's not too much of a drop off as of right now.
Yeah,
Teddy there.
Let's take a look. Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert. I mean, those are 2 running backs there that were signed. 1 for 2 year, 1 for 1 year. And of course, we already talked about Tyreek. He's getting a 4-year, $120 million extension. 72.2 is guaranteed. That is just crazy money. But you know what? Guy's young, and he could be with the Dolphins for a long time. Depending on what quarterback they go with, or whatever. They signed Preston Williams, Cedric Wilson
Cedric Wilson was another good pickup.
Yep. Mike Gesicki continues to stay with the team. He's tagged, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Anybody you want to go ahead and jump on? We already went ahead and jumped on Hill.
I mean, Tyreek's a good. I think offensively they boosted their roster. Now the question is, what style of play? I haven't really looked up the head coach. Not let's say looked them up. I don't know who his OC is. I'm very curious on who his OC is and who's going to call the plays.
For the Dolphins, I can take a look at that.
Because that's going to be the biggest question. Because him coming from San Francisco, he's under that tree. They usually run first and throw second. Now that you have a sprint relay team, literally, that could probably compete against in the Olympics. Because you got that can run. I'm very curious on how how he's going to play with it. Because, like I said, you still had Waddle, you had Tyreek, and again, I can't even old boy from the Cowboys. Like you have 3 slot receivers.
Yeah.
Like,
So Mike McDaniel, the head coach, the OC is Frank Smith. And It looks like last time he worked was with the Chargers. He worked as the run game coordinator and offensive line coach. So this is going to be his first stint under the offensive coordinator role.
So right then and there, you're looking at it. He's the O-line coach / run game coordinator. So
he's going to be a running game guy. So all right,
so it's going to be run first, and that's the thing. And I think I don't care what you say. Tyreek Hill has pretty much his numbers are going to drop. You can say what you want, the numbers are going to drop.
Of course.
Because you have 3 guys that pretty much do the exact same thing that Tyreek does.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. My boys there, Brian Hoyer, 2-year, we don't care. Ty Montgomery was picked up. Trent Brown's resigned. They're doing Jawan Bentley, Mac Brown, with a trade with Cleveland for Chase Winovich. Malcolm Butler, like we mentioned, is returning. Nick Folk is returning. Not a huge one, but Ty Montgomery, though, I kind of find interesting. I don't know if he's going to be a splash.
Why do you find him interesting?
Well, because he can do both, running back and receiver, and Bill Belichick likes these 2 positional players.
And you have James White for 2 years. Continue. Who else?
As long as he stays healthy, he's fine. But yeah, not a lot of big players that went in. Then Trent Brown resigned. We need some stability on the offensive line. We are getting gutted on that one. Mac Wilson, I don't know how good he's going to be. Hopefully, a lot better than Chase.
Have you noticed that you guys draft more? I'm not draft, sign, free agent, trade for more running backs and linebackers in the league. I'm just saying.
You would think we'd be studs at the linebacker position, for crying out loud.
Because I'm being serious. If you go back and you really look at it over the past 5 or 6 years, you guys have more running backs and more linebackers that I've ever seen. Like even free agents, you always sign a running back or a linebacker every year.
Yeah. All right.
So, I just want to say that.
Yeah, just not a lot of news capturing by the Patriots this year. Last year, oh yeah, they were all over the place, but just not this year. I think they have a lot of faith in what they signed last year.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is? Everybody else gotten better.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the division has gotten better. So like you sit there, you can say, well, Bill knows what you keep living off them Super Bowls. Just remember, I'm gonna say it again. He never won a playoff game without Tom Brady.
Yep. So, let's go to the Jets there. Another team. They went ahead and kept Flacco. Tevin Coleman is there. Barrios is there. CJ Uzama is there. Jordan Whitehead, Jacob Martin. Also not a whole lot of things. So maybe we'll keep pace with the Jets.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I like Mike. Mike White had a great year on the time he played. I'm surprised that no one really else looked at him. I think CJ Uzama is a great pickup. Quarterback always need a tight end. You always need a tight end. And they have draft picks. So
let's see how they do in the draft, though.
They're still loaded. Jordan Whitehead that's a hard-nosed safety. That's one guy I kind of hated that Tampa Bay didn't sign because he makes plays. He was that 1-2 punch. But I mean, Logan Ryan is just not as good as him. But I like the Jordan Whitehead. He's gonna stick his head in there and he's gonna make tackles and everything else. So that which should be good against the not Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, the New England Patriots, because they got 20 running backs back there in rotation.
All right, let's go ahead and move to the AFC North. Baltimore. As you can see, very short list there. Patrick Ricard, a fullback, which you don't see much very often. He signed with a 3-year deal. Another 3-year Morgan Moses, Michael Pierce, Marcus Williams, a 5-year, $70 million contract, $37 million guaranteed. Big contract for a safety there, the Marcus Williams.
Yes. Here's the craziest thing about Baltimore. Baltimore barely missed the playoffs, and if you go back and you look, 3 of them because they went for it instead of kicking the field goal. 3 of those games, and everybody was hurt. The entire defense was hurt. In the secondary, they were pulling people out of the stands and say, "Hey, you come here. You can come play corner for $500,000 for the week." And they were like, "Okay." So I kind of understand what they're doing. I'm very, very. I wish, and it might sound crazy. I hope they go get Alan Lazard at receiver.
Yes.
He's a vertical. He's he's big. He's tall. Get him. That'll help boost up the receiver core because you tried on Sammy. Sammy couldn't stay healthy and he really didn't do too much.
Right.
So, but
well, that kind of builds up the Ravens there because Ravens always listen. They always looking for receivers. Always. The problem is he doesn't throw the ball. Well, and not that often. He's running it mostly.
It's the offense. The
system I don't like. I don't like it. If you're gonna be a receiver, don't go to that system because you're not gonna get anything.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the Bengals. Bengals Super Bowl contenders in the AFC out of nowhere. They got Hayden Hurst, Brandon Allen for a quarterback, Alex Kappa, 4-year, $35 million deal for the OG. He gets actually a $1 million Pro Bowl incentive each year on that, which is interesting. So Kappa definitely needed because we all saw what the hell happened in the Super Bowl. Ted Karras gets a 3-year, $18 million contract. So they're bulking. They definitely are trying to go ahead and resolve the offensive line issue.
Well, going on that, one, you have to figure out the tight end spot because you lost your tight end. Collins, he has to stay healthy. One thing about Collins is I think he only played like 4 or 5 games the last 2 years. Alex Kappa. Here's the thing about Alex Kappa, and he was lucky because he was by a center that was an All-Pro, and then you had a right tackle that was All-Pro also. So you pretty much was protected.
Right.
So so now it's kind of see how I'm curious how you're gonna respond now that you're gonna be pretty much on the island because you're not gonna have an All-Pro center or All-Pro tackle, and we can also say you every week you're going to get somebody.
Especially, they're definitely going to get a pretty tough schedule because, well, number one, you're going against Pittsburgh, Cleveland, so you're already in Tennessee. Or excuse me, no, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and who's the 4th team in that division? Houston? No.
What are you talking about? Pittsburgh, Cleveland? It's Cincy.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincy. Who's the 4th team in that
division? Ravens and the Browns.
Ravens. Thank you. Right. Thank you. So yeah, you're basically going to go ahead and have 6 tough games already. And then, of course, the strength of schedule, because you were the AFC recipient in the Super Bowl, you're probably going to go ahead and get a tough schedule out the door, too. So, they're all going to be gunning for Cincinnati. Let's see how these linemen stay up. Eli Apple resigns with a 1-year deal to see how he does. Jesse Bates gets the tag. Of course, Mike's favorite guy, Jesse Bates. Anybody else you want to go ahead and establish before we move on?
No. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't see them repeating.
So let's go to Cleveland. Of course, Deshaun Watson. There you go. Trade. He's they're going ahead and giving up 1st-round picks, 3 1st-round picks, a 3rd-rounder, 2 4th-rounders. He's going to get a fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract in Cleveland. Watson get paid. On top of that, Jacoby Brissett is coming in. You already see the signs. Baker Mayfield is like, listen, we're putting your office up for rent. You're done. You got Amari Cooper coming into a trade. They give up more draft picks. I don't even think Cleveland has a draft this year of all the picks they're giving up. So you got Njoku, who got the tag. Jakeem Grant, 3-year deal for $13 million. Chase Winovich, acquired from New England. Basically a straight up linebacker trade for Winovich for Wilson. Anthony Walker resigning, Tavon Bryan. Anybody there you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
I'm very interested on the Jakeem Grant because he was like the third, fourth guy for the Dolphins, and so I was very curious of why what he brings to the table. Other than I know he did a lot of special teams, so I'm very curious how that he fits in that offense. He must be a speedy guy for them. So that's really pretty much the one thing that I'm concerned. Other than that, I mean, defense is defense. You got, I see you got Chase because you needed a pass rush because you need a pass rush guy. You got to have a guy that can pass rush. They don't have a guy on the other side that can pass rush. You got that man on one side, but you need a pass rush.
Okay, gotcha.
Especially in that division again.
So let's do Pittsburgh. Mitchell Trubisky found a home, 2-year, $14 million deal, up to 27 with incentives. Dwayne Haskins, he signed his original restricted free agent tender worth up to 2.5. We got
Okafor. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they keep Haskins. Okafor resigned 3-year, almost $30 million, 20 years guaranteed. James Daniels signed a 3-year deal. Mason Cole, Miles Jack. There you go. He signed a 2-year deal. Yeah, we were talking about Jack. Nobody was mentioning Jack because he's off the market.
That's they don't want to say he got signed.
Yeah. Well, very quiet.
I love everything that the Pittsburgh did. They look, you signed offensive tackle, offensive guard, O lineman, and then guess what? You put Miles Jack. Now you have a solidified the middle, an inside linebacker that can help make the tackles. I mean, he led the team in Jacksonville because he was the only thing they had, so he could fly around the field. You bring in some corners because that was a much need.
Right.
I like everything
and they're fortifying their linebacking core. So it's like they're keeping the defense strong and protecting their new quarterback, which apparently is going to be Mitchell Trubisky.
And let's just be it's Mitchell Trubisky is like what is he went from oh my God, you're so terrible. And he went to Buffalo, and then everybody realized it wasn't Mitch, it was the coach. And now he's getting he had all his praise of like, oh, you're so great. Come back. Hey, come, we need you. Like, that's crazy. Because you look at the Pittsburgh, you could trade, which they're not. I've said you could have got Jimmy G probably for a 5th or 6th round. So it's funny how Mitch all of a sudden, but when we look at Mitch, he's better than Ben at what age Ben was.
So here's one thing. Before we continue, I got a message from Freddie, which I guess I should have read it about an hour ago. So I apologize about it. But apparently we are on a network called NSPN, Tampa Bay TV, of course, located here in Florida. NSPN is a sports media outlet down here in Tampa Bay. Down there, of course, they're going to be plugging the Rays, the Buccaneers, the Lightning, and everything like that. So anything in regards to Tampa Bay sports, we are on there right now. NSPN Tampa Bay TV. We're streaming live right there. So another howdy applause to ASAP Network for pulling that off. So we appreciate it. Thank you. So they're probably not liking my Patriot gear. So unless they didn't see the number, it's like, oh, okay, you might be wearing number 12. No, I'm wearing Brewski's number. So all right, let's move on. So we got the Pittsburgh out of the way. Pittsburgh again looks like you said you like everything they're doing, so that's good. So that's 2 divisions down. Let's go to the AFC South. Jeff Driscoll signed a deal. Kyle Allen signed a deal. Freeman, Abingawe, and Chris Conley for Brown. Alec Collins, Christian Kersey. I see. That's a. Anybody want to talk with on this one here?
Hey, God dang, it must be a Patriots thing. Look, I look on here. I see 3 running backs. even the Texans they trade for running backs. They got more running backs than anybody I know.
Oh, a second. You know what? Because holy shit. But go ahead. Anybody you want to talk to you about the Texans that they're doing? Because it's like it really looks like they're like the Goodwill of the NFL right now.
Man.
Yeah, running backs is Anderson, Burkhead, Freeman, Jonovich, the O guy, and Scotty Phillips. They have 6 running backs on their roster at
sound like the Patriots, huh?
No, Patriots have like 10 running backs. What are you talking about? They're falling behind. Actually, I don't know. I have to take a look. But yeah, anybody you want to talk about on Houston? They don't sound very interesting.
No, Houston. I think Houston's doing it right. Like last year, they had 30, 35 guys that was a 1-year contract. So you pretty much the ones that you wanted to keep, you kind of re-sign. I think they're doing the same thing this year. Like they're trying to, because you still got that dead money. So you're trying to get Watson's contract out of the way. Then after that, you have 1,000 draft picks. So they're gonna rebuild. I think they probably go defense, because if they do it like Lovey does it, Lovey always go defense first. He gets the defense right, and then he started working on the offense. I mean, that was one of the things that he did even with Tampa when he was there. Like he was getting the defense, and now it was okay. Now let's build the offense where he got Evans and got Godwin and Jones and all them. So
you're right. You're right. It does sound like New England. New England's got 5 running backs, but if you put Ty Montgomery as a running back, it's 6. So
yeah, I told you. And where's he from? The GM. Where's the GM from? New England.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys.
So see, right now I'm taking a look. Who is our offensive coordinator? Vacant. Quarterbacks coach, vacant. Offensive line coach, vacant. Don't look good for Mac Jones. It don't. You got nobody to coach the offensive line, nobody to coach the quarterbacks, nobody to call the plays. Oh yeah, this is great. This is fantastic. But they got a running back coach. Thank God. Let's go to Indianapolis. Matt Ryan, of course, trade from Atlanta. We already talked about him. Tight end Ali Cox. We got Pryor at the tackle. Lewis re-signed a deal. There was I cannot pronounce this guy's name for the life of me. Ngangwe?
Yeah.
Am I close? He was acquired for trade from the Raiders, but a lot of re-signings on here. Anybody from Indianapolis besides Matt Ryan? We already talked about
him. You got your pass rush from Ngangwe. They probably draft a receiver, and they probably draft a receiver because what did they get from Witz?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me pull this up here. Let me take a look. So let's see here. Atlanta, second call going to. There's the 3rd round pick, number 82. That's it.
Well, that's good. So they're fine. They're gonna pretty much, defensively they were good. So they didn't really. That's why they did a lot of re-signing. It wasn't the defense, and it was more so the offense. You got a quarterback now. Now you have a tight end. You still have a 2-headed monster at running back.
Yep.
So you should be good. You just probably get another receiver, and that's it.
Yeah, I was thinking Indianapolis receiving core is not really that great. You got Campbell, Kiki, DeMichael Harris, Desmond Patman, Michael Pittman Jr., and Michael Strachan. That's it. You got your tight ends.
Oh, what's the name? He's not.
Ty Hilton's not in there, or T.Y. Hilton's not in there.
His T.Y. is a free agent?
He is a unrestricted free agent still.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also the right now, Nakeem Himes and Jonathan Taylor, the 2. Deion Jackson there. Marlon Mack is restricted. Or unrestricted, excuse me.
Yeah.
He's still out there. So, all right, let's move on. Jacksonville. They get their they got a receiver there. Christian Kirk, 4-year, $72 million deal. Could be worth up to $84 million. Set 37 is guaranteed. Yeah. Zay Jones, a 3-year, $24 million. Max worth $30 million. Laquan Treadwell, there was re-signed. Evan Ingram is signed on a 1-year deal, so they bring in a tight end. Cam Robinson, a tag. Brandon Sheriff, 3-year, almost $50 million deal. Tyler Shatney, let's see, and a couple of cornerbacks there that they one re-signed, one signed. Darius Williams signed a 3-year, $30 million. I know you were high on Christian Kirk. 4-year, $72 million, a possible $84 million value. What do you think of Jacksonville?
They got him some toys. Now,
let's see if Lawrence knows how to play with them.
Nah, is everybody gonna put him in the best position to play with him? Like, I think that's one of the issues. Like, even you take Zay Jones. Zay Jones is not bad. He came from the Raiders, so he got a lot of playing time, especially after their whole situation debacle down there. So he got some speedy guys. He has a big guy. So the O-line, they fixed the O-line. I'm just wondering to see what Peterson's going to do as a coach, and how is he going to put all this together? That's the big question.
I mean, he's got the experience of putting it together. I mean, he's dealt with some crap in Philly, so this is just different crap in a different state.
Yeah, so, but they were still okay.
He's got some toys though, like you mentioned.
Yeah. So Christian Crowder, he'll be that slot. He'll be the slot guy if he does just what Philly Peterson does. He'll be the guy. Zay Jones will play outside. Treadwell will play outside also. Evan Ingram. I always liked Evan Ingram. He just can't stay healthy. I think that's one of the biggest issues for him.
I think you can probably say that about almost like 80% of the NFL players. They have trouble staying healthy. Yeah. It's a physical sport. We all know that, and that there's going to be injuries and quirks and stuff like that going on. So I get it that not everybody's going to remain healthy.
But he also, and I keep forgetting they also have Marvin Jones. So the receiving core is actually a good receiving core. So like I said, Ingram, he's in Florida now, so he ain't got to worry about that New York weather.
So that's right. You gotta love the Florida weather, man. I mean, you'll love it to a point, but it's like during the summer, it's like you don't want to be in that shit. You don't want to be in there.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, with everything going on, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, you got Tim Jones, Marvin Jones, Terry Goodwin, excuse me, Jeff Colton, Jamal Agnew. What did you say about? I don't see him on there.
Who?
Oh, Marvin Jones. There he is. I was like looking for him. I was like, and Laquan Treadwell is on there as well. So Ingram, Farrell, Dan Arnold. So they got a lot of people there, and we're going to see how Travis Etienne actually when he finally plays. We'll see how he does, because he had to sit out the whole last year because of an injury.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Tennessee. Dontrell Hilliard resigning with the Titans. Robert Woods, we already talked about that. Austin Hooper signed a 1-year deal to give them some depth at tight end. Jeff Swaim, another tight end. We got Ben Jones, a center. Jamarco Jones on the outside line. Harold Landry, Buster Shrine, Morgan Cox, Randy Bullock on a kicking deal, 2-year deal there. Anybody there? I mean, we already talked about Woods. What about Hooper? Hooper is that, he was the one guy that Cleveland lost that Tennessee picked up.
Yeah, he'd fit good in the offense. Like I said it earlier, he'd probably be the second. He'd be the second target behind. But man, it's Tennessee, man. Tennessee. I'm putting Tennessee in the same category with the Cowboys, not the Cowboys, but Gonzaga. Like they're gonna be top 3, make the playoffs, might win the first round or lose the first round. Like right. They won't give you. They don't have enough at the quarterback position to give you anything. Like I said, Cincinnati's 10 sacks. You sacked the quarterback 10 times, and you couldn't put up 21 points. So I think that's the thing. And it goes back to a lot of his coaching too, because I wouldn't have. That's a whole nother story. But
yeah, it's another story for another time. Let's move on to the West. Let's see if we can get through the AFC for this show. We'll tackle the NFC. Well, actually, I gotta do a programming check on you guys here. But anyway, we'll do that in a second. Denver, of course, Josh Johnson. They signed him for a 1-year deal. Russell Wilson, the big pickup. Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, and a whole bunch of picks going to Seattle for that. Calvin Anderson resigns. Tom Compton signed a deal. Billy Turner signed a deal. We got Randy Gregory, a 5-year, $70 million deal on the defensive end. DJ Jones, a 3-year, $30 million deal. Deshaun Williams, Joey Joel, Malik Reed. Alex Singleton, a 1-year, $1 million, basically prove-it deal. And Keywan Williams, a 2-year deal as well. So we already talked about Russell Wilson. Anybody else you see on there that you want to go ahead and spitfire at? Randy Gregory?
Randy Gregory, whoever your agent is, you need to thank him because I don't know how you get a 5-year, $70 million year. Because I don't think he's up to that level, that standard to get that, but it's only $28 million guaranteed.
But you also think about too, is Denver really in desperation mode on defense right now?
Well, you need the pass rush, so now you're getting a guy, and he had issues in the past. Biggest issue in the past was marijuana, and you go to a state where you can pretty much go to anywhere and get it. So
right.
So
there you go. Listen, I'll sign the deal over there. Yeah. Give us some extra money so we can buy more weed.
But I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah. All right, let's move on then. Kansas City. Ronald Jones signs a 1-year deal. Chad Henne is re-signed on another 1-year deal. Corey Coleman, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez, Valdez-Scantling, all added to it. And, of course, they lose Tyreek Hill. So, with those 3 signings, do you actually think that makes up for Tyreek?
I think Marquez does. Because if you go and if you really look at the stats, Marquez has more deep balls than Tyreek.
Got Frank Clark, signed a new 2-year deal, $29 million, max at 36. And Jermaine Carter Jr.
I think the best thing for them, Justin Reed was a good pickup. I think the best thing was trading him. Now you about to load up on that defensive side. You can draft a receiver, another burner, and then now you can just pretty much load up.
Wow. So you think this is actually better, getting value for Hill, and actually just go ahead and loading up now on the draft?
Yes, because one thing about it, Marquez, he's a vertical guy. So you have your vertical guy, Juju. He's a route runner. He's your catcher. Corey Coleman hadn't played in years. I don't know, so I don't know really what he's gonna give you out of it. But everybody keeps saying, and I had looked at it, but hadn't really looked at it. I saw like the top 5 receivers. That this is a loaded draft for receivers. This is a loaded draft for D-line. This is a loaded draft for O-line.
You think them taking Corey is basically, hey, let me see how you are, and either you'll make the team or cut.
Yeah, because he hadn't played since in 4 years.
Yeah, so he's definitely gonna have rust.
So one thing about it is I think that it's a great fit, and you still have what you have already on the team. It's it's actually a good squad. You still got your speed. So you're fine.
All right, let's move on to the Raiders. Of course, they're making moves. Garrett Gilbert, of course, XFL quarterback, signed for a backup deal. Ramir Abdullah signed with the team. Brandon Bolden taken away for 2 Patriots. Bolden and Jacob Johnson getting the running back and fullback deal there. Devontae Adams, of course, the big move, the trade with the Green Bay Packers. They also got Demarcus Robinson, signed a free agent deal. Jacob Hollister. Max Crosby is in there, 4-year, almost $100 million in there. Chandler Jones signed with the team. Vernon Butler is in the team. Jayon Brown, and Duron Harmon. Dude, they're making moves in Vegas right now. I think they're trying to go up against the house, if you know what I'm saying.
So, biggest thing, scroll down. Right there, stop, buddy. Those 2 DNs.
Yeah.
Now you have pass rush.
$160 million in pass rushers. That better pay off.
Yeah, you have pass rushers because think about it. You're in the AFC North that is pretty much quarterback heavy.
AFC North, AFC West.
AFC West. I'm sorry, AFC West. It's pretty much everybody. You have every team has a quarterback. Then even if you flip it, you have to be Cincy. You need pass rush. You need pass rush. You bulked up. You bulked up your ends. You got physical at your D tackles and your linebacker spot. Those are the most important things. And then Rocker, you're saying is good. And then you pretty much ain't Harmon. Ain't where he from? What team he come from?
Shut up.
I'm just asking.
McDaniels has turned the team just like Brady was turning in there. It was the Tampa Bay Patriots. Now it's going to be the Las Vegas Patriots.
So when you look at them, I love everything that they're doing because Adams. I forgot all about that. I forgot Adams and what's the name? I forgot they were friends. They played at Fresno together. The quarterback.
Carr?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I forgot they were cool. So they're gonna be. It looks real good. McDaniels has toys to play with. You have a running back. You brought Brandon. Is that another Patriot?
That is another Patriot. Brandon and Johnson, both Patriots.
You have. Look at this. So now you have a balance.
Even Jacob Hollister is a former Patriot.
Yeah. So you look at it. The Raiders to me is the number one team in the AFC West right now.
No, we'll see how they put it all together.
Because I just got to see.
You can sign big contracts to these big people, but how does it gel into the system that you're coaching? Does Josh McDaniels have this all online after all the years of tutelage from Bill Belichick? You would think he would. He would.
The offensively, they're gonna be fine because he's not gonna try to be Bill. He's gonna be him.
He's gonna be him, right? Chargers Chase Daniel. We signed on a backup deal. Mike Williams re-signs with the Chargers on a 3-year, $60 million deal. It's 40 guaranteed. Gerald Everett signs a 2-year, $12 million deal. You got Covington, Johnson, Sebastian Joseph Day, all basically right there on the defensive side. Khalil Mack comes in on a trade from the Bears. J.C. Jackson comes in on a 5-year, $82 million deal. And Dustin Hopkins goes ahead and handles the kicking duties right there in L.A. What about L.A.?
Well, we already knew what they were offensively. Offensively, they're good. Defensively, one thing they got beef. I think Sebastian Joseph Day was a good signing because you got to get some physical up that middle. And
physical.
Because one thing you always said about the Chargers defense, they was very, very, very soft. J.C. Jackson, I'm not 100% sold on yet because I'm very curious to see how they're gonna use him in. Are they gonna run a lot more man now? Because the secondary pretty much was healthy this year. Mm-hmm. So other than that, like I said, they were just soft defensively, and they beefed it up. Khalil Mack is back in California, so guess what? He's out of Chicago. And like people don't. I had a whole argument. We argued about this. Like playing football in 70-degree weather is way better than playing football in 30, 35-degree weather.
Yeah, but you listen. That doesn't mean that they're not going to have a schedule where they're going to face somebody up north. They may face Green Bay this year in Lambeau. They may face Chicago. In Soldier Field.
But it's going to be August, September, October.
You don't know that.
And even but Charles,
they play games in snowy weather up in the NFL.
Charles, let me ask you a question. If you live where it's the lowest is 70 degrees, and maybe a week out of the year, just a week, you have to work in 40-degree weather. That ain't bad.
But the thing is, you're playing your best football in a nice warm climate. Are you going to be tough enough to handle it when it's time to handle it?
Yes. I don't have to do it every day.
Okay.
I don't have to do it every day. That's the difference. Doing it every day. Think about it. Like, and let's just be honest. Look who all the signings are going. 9 times 10, all the big signings were in what? Warm climate.
Yeah.
They're warm climate. Nobody Buffalo, you had to break the bank just to get the guys. Like, that's the thing what people don't realize. Like, you want to play where it's warm. You want to, because then guess what?
You have to give them all that money so they can load up their T-shirts and sweatshirts so there's padding there so they can keep warm.
Yeah, man. You say what you want. Like I'm telling you, you look at when free agents, 9 times out of 10, if they go to like where it's cold, it's because you paying them. You bring the dump truck.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the thing what people don't realize. A lot of players don't want to play in the cold.
No, they don't. They don't.
A perfect example. Look at Green Bay. They don't have no receivers.
Not anymore.
I was looking at,
but I'm just saying that they used to have receivers.
I looked at it. The first string receiver, you traded them all. The second best receiver, he went to Kansas City, and the third one, he just chilling in the free agent because you ain't got nobody.
And that's why I say, if you're an NFL owner in the North, and I'm talking about not the Northwest like Seattle. Seattle is actually pretty mild compared to in the Midwest. If you're an NFL owner where you have a quarter of the season that's late, getting snow or frigid temperatures or gale force winds, you need to build yourself a dome. You need to build yourself a dome. And you can even take Lambeau, put a roof on it, get out of the elements, and you can still play in there. It'll still have the prestige of Lambeau, but put a roof on it.
But I'm just telling you, free agent guys, because I forgot who I was arguing with. He was like, "No, this is football weather."
Everybody.
And somebody, no, this is football weather. No, 40 degrees not football weather.
Yes, it is.
No.
What other sport do you play in 40-degree weather that is that great?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
When was the last time the Super Bowl was played in 40-degree weather without a dome?
New York.
And what year was that?
Long time ago.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's why you need a dome if you're in the North.
Like people say that, like think about it. Take Green Bay, take New England, take Chicago. You don't sign big free agents. You get them through the draft, and then you try to re-sign them. You traded for Khalil Mack. Stephon Diggs. You traded for Stephon Diggs. You think if he was a free agent, he would have like, "Hey, I want to go to Buffalo."
Hell no.
No, it's too cold, dog. And you sure don't want to go to New England because all New England does is pick up running backs and linebackers. That's the only place I know in the world. And the Houston Texans, you right behind them because you got a New England guy. I don't know what the belief in that. Hey, let's get 10 running backs. Let's get 20 linebackers.
You leave my team alone.
But
you leave my team alone.
But one thing about it is this free agent, this NFL offseason, the good thing about it is you don't know what's gonna happen. That's the beautiful thing. Like the AFC is loading up. While you flip it to the NFC, there's only 4 teams.
Yeah, we already took there's already one of the better quarterbacks that's out there in the league flipped from the NFC to the AFC. We already have one of them at least, and then you have another one he's good when he wants to be or can be.
But I think
from Atlanta to Indianapolis, that's another one that's gone to the AFC.
But if you look at the one thing about the NFC and the AFC, I think the NFC is they're physical tough on both sides, offense and defense, compared to the AFC is
more finesse.
Yeah, it's quarterback, it's cute.
Yeah,
and that's the thing because you take the Rams. Rams is physical, no matter however you want to say it.
Their defense is physical, yes.
49ers is physical on both sides.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you can even look at even Tampa. Tampa is still, regardless, they're gonna run the football, and then they're gonna lull you to sleep.
Better you go ahead and sign Fournette. You better run the football.
So I think they're physical.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can say if Winston stay healthy, I like the Saints. Those are the 4 teams that, because the defense, regardless of the situation, they still got their D-line. They still have them linebackers. They lost the safety, but they're great. One thing about the Saints, they do a good job of drafting.
Yeah.
Because they don't really bring in a lot of big name free agents. They draft. So I like what everybody's doing. Are we gonna live off the past of the name brand or what they are now?
We're gonna find out. Hey,
now,
that's why they're building the teams. That's why we're reporting on them. It's gonna be interesting to see all these faces wearing different jerseys and different helmets. We're gonna see what they can do.
yeah.
Is it gonna be a good fit, a bad fit, or Miami? Are we seeing them contend this year?
Yeah, because you gotta give Miami's all in. They broke the bank. So you gotta give them respect, gotta give them credit. I mean, Pittsburgh is sneaky quiet. I
honestly think Miami's a quarterback away from actually taking it. I just don't trust Tua. I don't trust I don't Bridgewater. If that Brady deal goes through, which I know it's not, but if they did that, you know how scary Miami would be.
Yeah,
scary.
I think Miami make the playoffs right now, and this is untrue. Not seeing the schedule, not seeing the draft. I have Miami, Buffalo, Kansas City, Colts, Raiders, Cincy, Baltimore. No, I'm lying. Cincy, Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, because there's 7 teams in there now.
Yeah.
All right.
That's just right off free agent. That's just free agent alone because Pittsburgh pretty much improved in every position, and they did it for the cheap.
Yeah. See, that's what New England used to do, improving every position for the cheap. They're not doing it this year. They're way out in left field.
That's because y'all spent $500 million last year, and
we did. Yeah, we broke the bank last year, which you know what?
And it only got y'all a first round beating.
On that note, we'll go ahead and close out the show.
And on top of that, I'm sorry. And Pittsburgh, we keep forgetting Brian Flores. He owns New England. He knows everything about Miami. I have to give him. Look, Brian Flores is another guy. That's a great pickup by Pittsburgh. Great pickup.
We'll see.
He's a defensive minded guy.
Oh yeah, well of course he's DC in New England, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here now. Next week is up for grabs. I am traveling on Thursday, doing a long road trip to New England. Going to visit my pops. Going to see some sights. Got another radio show I'm going to be doing. So Sunday, I'm going to try to do it, but Coach, I need you to be on the backup just in case.
No, I'll be there. Right. I'm good. I'm in the thing.
All right. So Sunday, show's going to go on. It might be Coach doing the lead, though.
Oh, gosh.
Make sure you click on start broadcast this time.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're out of here. We'll see you next week somehow, some way. Take care.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, then I'm in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.